Welcome to AI and Automation in Action, where we show business leaders how to turn AI from a buzzword into measurable operational leverage. If you're serious about operational efficiency and responsible AI adoption, you're in the right place.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another edition of AI and Automation in Action, where we dive into real-world use cases of AI and automation to hopefully spark some ideas for you to put these to use in your operations. One of the things we're going to dive into today is an automation we were requested to build for an organization when it comes to sales outreach. So the request was made to our team basically because the organization used cold outreach to find new clients, and their manual process today involved going into their CRM, trying to find contacts that they have not talked to in a while, and building a list manually of the contacts and companies that they'd want to reach out to. Now, the challenge with this was that once they found those contacts, they had to go out to another external tool to validate, did they have the right contact phone number? Did they have the right email address? Did they have the right mailing address? And they used a multi-touch outreach campaign, meaning that they would mail a physical package to the prospective client. So they needed to make sure that they had the right contact. They had to make sure they had the right mailing address to begin with. And because contacts can change quite frequently, that's one of the bigger challenges that they had, was that they needed to make sure that they were sending to the right person and that they were still at the firm, because if they weren't, the physical mailers can become costly very quickly, especially if they're going to the wrong person. So their existing process was to sift through the CRM data, go out to an external sales database, and try to gather as much information as they can to make sure that it is current, and then update the CRM, and then put that into an email sequence that would send email out to them and schedule follow-up calls. So what we were able to do is to connect all of these initiatives into what we called a prospect list building tool. And it's connecting to multiple sources. And we're going to share a little bit of what that looks like. All right. So what we're looking at is at least the phase one build of this. And right now I've got a test run going, and we'll refresh to get the latest version. And so what the tool does is that it's set to where each day it goes through and it has a different market focus. Monday, it pulls from the legal sector, and you've got all of these variables that you can plug in: the minimum number of employees, max number of employees, the industries, the titles, any hot lead signals, things that you want to look for in terms of the right fit. And then each day it rotates those. And as you can see, it's pulling and enriching those data sources. So when we go back to the main dashboard screen, you can see that based upon what it's set to pull from, it has pulled 70 contacts in the legal firm vertical. It's gone out. And one of the key things, as I mentioned, we needed to make sure that we had the right person that was still at the firm. So it's more than just going to a lead source application to say, hey, is this correct? What it does in addition is it actually goes and scrapes the company website to see, is this person still listed in any of the website contact information or about us? And if not, it tries to suggest a replacement value for this. It also is going to pull their title, all of the contact specifics. We also built in an ICP, or ideal candidate profile, to gauge against, to make sure, how does this fit our ideal client target? And does it have all of the required information for the outreach? And so it goes through multiple steps. It goes out and searches those lists, enriches the data, makes sure that it has it available in all of the fields pulled in so that it can return that into a list. And as you can see, it's gone through and it's rated all of these and given us the option to export. So when we go back to the run history, we can actually see the different vertical categories that it's going through. Now, the other thing that they wanted the ability to do was go through and export that data. So we've taken that list building functionality And now we've given it, a complete file. It's done on a daily basis, and they need to be able to put that back into their CRM. So you've got the ability in this automation where you can export this directly from the application, but they also wanted to notify their sales team in Microsoft Teams. So what we also were able to do is connect their Microsoft Teams instance. And so every morning at say 7 a.m., it posts a message to the sales team that here is your daily prospect list and information that you can pull in to your CRM. So the Teams message pops up. It has a link to go download that list that they can pull in. And ultimately, one of the things they want to do eventually is have this automated with the CRM so that it automatically ties in. And so that's going to be phase 2 for us. But the idea is that there's a continual list building status that's going on every day. Now, in terms of the time savings, this was taking hours each day. And most of the time, it wasn't happening on a consistent basis. It was an ad hoc function. So this automation provided a couple of benefits. One is obviously the time savings component from several hours each day to now really basically, a couple of minutes to actually go out and get the file and import it. But more importantly, what it also provided was the ability for consistency. So each and every day, this process is happening on a consistent basis. And within the settings aspect, you can actually go in and you can change what verticals are pulled. So if we want to run through legal, or we decide we've exhausted all of that, we want to substitute in automotive, you can go in and change those on the fly, and then it's going to go into that schedule for each week. So time savings, consistency, and accuracy are all things that we were able to deliver through this automation. There are multiple tools being used in this automation itself, and the goal is to extend this to more tools and more functionality down the road. We also have the ability from permissions level we built in so that normal users, if it's a sales rep, they can log in and go get this data. But if it's a sales manager, they're the ones that have the ability to go in and see what was done in this run history and also go into the settings and make those changes in terms of what the requirements are. And so multiple things go at play here. And then the last component that I'll mention, they wanted to be able to see what was the cost of this automation in terms of API usage within the applications and the AI credit or token usage. And so we built that factor in as well so that they can see each day, what is it costing us to pull this information together? And now we've got an automation that consistently delivers, a sales outreach list. It's verified as much as possible. And eventually it's going to be automated into the CRM. And as you can see from a cost perspective, extremely cost effective. And, it's something that can be reused and built upon. So hopefully that sparks some ideas for you in terms of actual use case for an automation like this. If you have any questions, as always, reach out and let us know. And we look forward to talking with you on the next AI and Automation in Action.
Thanks for tuning in to AI and Automation in Action. If today's conversation sparked ideas about how AI or automation could improve your operations, we'd love to continue that discussion with you. Join us next time as we showcase another real-world implementation and break down how to deploy AI responsibly and effectively. And if you want to brainstorm with our team, email us anytime at ideas@innovativeautomations.ai. Until next time.